Back in January, when Audi launched the Q8 SUV in India, up on the stage, it looked very imposing. Today, out on the road, it's every bit as imposing and dominant as it was on the stage, and then some more. We're taking a look at the design, the proportions, the technology inside this car, and of course, most importantly, the comfort factor. I'm Shubhadeep Chakravarti, and I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the flagship SUV from Audi in India. The biggest highlight in the resume of the Q8 is its massive road presence. Now, the Audi Q8 owner would want to announce his presence, and the designers were clearly aware of something like that. So you get a massive front grille. It's a single unit front grille. It's flanked by really sleek looking headlight units. The sharp 9 LEDs and in a pattern make the car have a very, very intimidating front profile. Almost every element on the front face of the Q8 can be customized as per personal preferences. The level of customization extends to other areas of the exterior as well on the inside, but more on that a little later. On the side, you get the option of choosing between 20-inch, 21-inch and 22-inch tires. This particular car has 20-inch tires and pretty standard alloys as well, but you can get all of this customized. You can increase the size, but even 20-inch wheels make the car look upright and solid. There are silver elements right from the start of the A-pillar all the way flowing back to the C-pillar, which gives the car a really nice outlook. There are body lines galore all over the side, and it adds to the character of the vehicle. Over at the rear, this car continues to have its really bold and wide appearance. The taillights, once again, are something that Audi designers are focusing on increasingly, and increasingly it's working for them. The luggage lift angle for the boot would be a little bit of a problem, especially for heavy and big bags. But once you do open the boot, there is so much space inside. There is over 600 liters of space on the inside, and that's more than enough for a family of 5 on a long journey. Yes, clearly there is a lot of space for luggage in the boot of the Q8, but what does this car have on offer for you as the person? The back seats. They are obviously plush and extremely comfortable, so come, let's take a look. The cabin of the Q8 for the rear passengers is extremely luxurious, and there is so much space. It was clearly evident from the proportions of this vehicle that the rear passengers would be spoilt for space, and that truly is the case. There is enough legroom that I have here, in fact a football field sized legroom, if I can say that, and there is enough shoulder room for 2 passengers at the back. And despite the fact that this here is a coupe SUV and the roofline is slightly slanting, it's not an issue for me. I'm not the tallest, I'm 5'8", but I suspect even people who are taller, around the 6 feet mark, won't really have much to complain about. The seats are extremely plush. There is decent amount of under-thigh support here, and the comfort level is again something that you would expect from a car in this league. Audi is also offering you to choose between different seat options. So you can choose between sport, comfort, and there are a lot of upholstery options. So the level of customization is not just restricted to the outside, but it's also there on the inside of this vehicle. In terms of features that are available to me as the rear passengers, I can control the AC, I can control the temperature, the fan speed, there are charging outlets, there are enough spaces for bottles, for cups, but what I do really miss is that I'll have to keep telling my driver to change the volume, make changes to the navigation. So I do wish I had more control of the main screen at my hand. And remember, Audi is offering those facilities in some of the other cars, especially in the sedan category. But for me, I feel a little shortchanged when it comes to features that are available to me as the rear passenger. The Q8 more than makes up for all of it by offering huge windows and a nice large panoramic sunroof. So it's a huge car, but it's also a very roomy car where natural light, wind seeps in abundance. The ride quality in the back seat is of top-notch quality. We've gone through certain potholes and speed breakers, and there is hardly much that I could feel, honestly, at moderate speeds. After all that time talking about the exteriors, the interiors, sitting in the back seat, it's finally great to be behind the wheel, because really the test of any car in any range, in any segment, is how it performs. And that is where the strength of the Q8 is at. There is a 3-liter petrol engine here. Now, a couple of years back, I could have never imagined an Audi or a Q series to be offered in just petrol. But changing times, changing needs, and changing mechanics. The 3-liter engine is more than sufficient. Yes, it's not as punchy as, say, some of the Audi diesels we've driven in the past, but it's refined, and that refinement in the Q8 sort of takes precedence over anything else. Now, it's not like this car is lacking power. Maybe the diesel could have done a little bit extra, but in different modes, the car performs differently and yet in a very capable manner. There are certain great elements in the Q8 when you're behind the wheel, and some which are not that great. So let's start with those factors which are not that great. The biggest of them all, and remember when I was sitting in the back seat, I mentioned how I have to ask my driver to make all the changes. He won't be too pleased, because I won't be too pleased making constant changes here, sitting behind the wheel and driving the car. There is haptic feedback on offer, and the screens are large. There is a twin screen setup for the main infotainment system and the Audi virtual cockpit here. And it's gorgeous to look at. But to control, it can be a bit of an issue, because I constantly have to take my eyes off the road and keep pressing buttons here and there to make changes. So for example, if I want to select a certain drive mode, I have to select the drive mode manually and through the buttons here in the center panel, which more than often would require me to take my eyes off the road. Not a great safety feature. That out of the way, let me talk about the drive itself. Now, the car is offered in obviously different drive modes. It offers sporty mode, it offers comfort mode, it offers a balance mode. But in the dynamic mode, which is the sporty mode, the car performs at its best. The power delivery in the 3-liter petrol engine is very linear, and the car jumps forward without you actually jumping back in your seat. Now, I've tried that both in the front passenger seat, in the seat where I am at right now, and the seats behind. Every time there is a throttle input, the car pushes forward, but it does ensure that you are not pinned in your seat. At a starting price of rupees 1.33 crores ex-showroom, the Q8 goes head-on against the likes of the Porsche. For the price, it offers extremely good ride dynamics, a very, very agile, sporty drive, and a lot of comfort on the inside. The standard feature list is also pretty exhaustive, but that is also one of the drawbacks. Certain options that are being offered as extras could have been part of the standard edition. But besides that, there is not much to complain about when it comes to the flagship SUV from Audi, and the company is surely likely to target and find favor amongst the niche buyers for a car of this segment. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to HT Auto for more such in-depth reviews.